In a town far, far away, there was a child who was extremely disorganized, and she couldn't figure out what day it was or what day it was tomorrow, and all her tasks she had forgotten. And she didn't know what else she could do. She was missing appointments, meetings. So she decided to wake up one day and start a bullet journal.
Yes, you heard that right. I started a bullet journal. I realized that my life was a little disorganized. My husband has his own business, so he was disorganized, and men are not necessarily good at organizing, and women are. So I decided, I like drawing, I like crafts, I like keeping myself organized. My closet is super organized, everything is just super organized. I'm more minimal about things. And I watched this video on YouTube by Pickup Limes, who is one of my favorite YouTubers. Like, I'm not a vegan, but I love all her recipes and I love her concept of minimalism, and she made a bullet journal video, and I was really inspired by that video. So I decided to kind of copy her a little bit. I added my own things that I saw online, because you can customize your bullet journal however you want. And I think it's a great personal assistant that I have now. I feel like my times are actually not going to waste anymore. I used to spend a lot of time watching something on Netflix on my phone or playing video games or something like that. So now I'm just focused on what I'm going to do next, and all my time set up. So this video is going to talk about my version of the bullet journal, and which is also really similar to Pickup Limes' bulletproof bullet journal. So yeah, all right, let's do it. So first, I got this bullet journal on Amazon. I'm gonna put it in the description because I love this book. So this book is made from recycled material. So when you're done with it, you could recycle it if you wanted to, but I'm gonna keep all of mine. I'm just very eco-friendly, and I'm trying to save the world, one person at a time. So that's why I like this book. It also comes with these really cool, well, not cool, I guess, but it comes with materials for you. So you're gonna use these a lot. I'm already using them now, and it comes with a ruler, which is super, super useful. The one thing it didn't come with were pens, and I'm a pen freak. I only like specific pens. So I used what Pickup Limes recommended, and it was, I'm not sure what these are, but these are amazing. They're, 0.5 ink pens, so I really, really like these. I will also put these in the description for you guys to buy, because these are amazing and I am gonna buy them for the rest of my life. Okay, so this bullet journal, I always like to start it with, of course, your name, because what if you drop it? What if you left it in the bathroom somewhere? Oh my God, someone can contact you and give it back to you. This is your life. Well, at least it's like my life every day. So it's really important to me, and I would be very upset if I lost it. I don't know how you could lose a book, but it does happen sometimes. But yeah, I put my name. And I put my Instagram, because I feel like that's how people are contacting each other these days. They don't really call you anymore. They usually do email, text, and now I put DM, because that's how you can find me. Plus, they can start following me on Instagram, and you guys can too. Instagram is @TheRealJessicaLopez. Just a little plug. Okay, so the first page is going to be a key, and the key consists of how many boxes go across. Of course, I messed up, as you can see. I messed up right there, and then all the way at the bottom. So there's 39 boxes going from up and down, and then from left to right, there's 26 boxes. So that'll help you count how many boxes or how many columns you want to make at a time. And then you can see at the bottom, there's tasks completed, migrated notes, important priority. This is all from Pickup Limes' way of bullet. And as you start doing this, and maybe you can copy exactly how mine is, you start to realize that there are some things you don't use and some things you do use during each month and each day. So eventually you'll customize it to exactly what works for you, because I think everyone's different, but I think this is a really good skeleton to start with. So yeah. All right, next page is what Pickup Limes likes to call it, her year overview. So it has every single month in the first and the second page from January 1st through December 31st, or 30th. What is it? 31st. And here's where I put people's birthdays, and of course mine is pretty empty because I don't have many friends. But I have my dad's birthday. I have my sister's Bunny's birthday on there. Don't ask me why. She's my niece. I have to make sure that I remember her birthday for some reason. Yeah, so this is the overview. This is where you put really important information like birthdays, anniversaries, stuff like that you should remember and don't remember really. But it's a really good way to keep track of it. This part to make is really tedious and it gets really repetitive, but once you do it, you'll feel a lot better about it once you've written these things down, because I like to see it all on a piece of paper, not really on my phone. On my phone, I feel like I can't see all the list of things, and here is like really easy. So the next section of the book will be a little closer look of what each month is going to look like. So I give myself a little bit more space to write down more important things like travel times, like say you're going on vacation on these days, you can put that in, or say you're like gonna go one day trip here, or maybe you're going to see a friend this time, you know. So this gives you a little bit more space to write more details about these things. I use this one a lot because if I'm going, I don't know, back home to Napa to see family or something, I will write it down there. And like, or if I took a day off or I'm working for somebody because I work during the weekends, like I could write it down there and just like see it on a piece of paper, you know. Like I mentioned before, sometimes with Google Calendar, it's really hard to see the list. Like you'll see those little dots, but you have to click on the dots and then that's when the list comes up. I don't know, I feel like I could miss things really easily with that method, but that's just me. Okay, so the next section, this is when we get to the fun part. I have a check-in, which Pickup Limes also uses a check-in. I love this part because this is where I get to check in with myself emotionally, as you can see on the left side, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So emotionally, I start writing things down of how I feel. You know, maybe one day I wake up and I'm feeling really down, or one day I wake up and I'm feeling like really happy, or maybe something happened and you just like want to write down how you feel throughout the month, or maybe, you know, that time of the month is starting for women and you're feeling grumpy, or you're feeling like you're craving sugar or salty foods, chocolates. I don't know. You just write whatever you want. I mean, just remember, this bullet journal is for you and for your self-care and for just your life. You know, it's your life. You can also make one with your significant other if you live with them. I add some of Matt's things in here because it does interfere with me. But yeah, so emotionally, I like to check in every once in a while, and then you can go back and think like, why did I feel so bad, or what made me feel good? And then you can like start to realize just what things are working for you and what things are not working for you. And physically, that's another really big one that I really like, because I have like a shoulder problem. I play volleyball and I got injured like in September, so I was writing down like updates on like how my shoulder's feeling, you know, seeing the physical therapist and all that, and now it feels a lot better. It's not at 100% yet, but it's getting there. And I think, you know, it's another self-care, but for you physically. Also, if you're sore for too long, or maybe you got a headache and it lasted a couple days, or a migraine, it's good to really make sure that you are checking in to yourself and your body, just so that you like know what's going on. Say something really, I don't know, say you weren't feeling well for a while, but you didn't keep track of your notes, you know, like, and you end up going to the doctor. I think it's really good to check back and see like, okay, I had a headache starting this day and it just went up for this day. Spiritually, this section sometimes for me is a little bit blank, and which is not good in my opinion. I like to check in with myself spiritually. I just want to make sure that I'm still, you know, meditating and finding myself in those deep thoughts. So it's really good to check in with that. I will have like maybe 1 or 2 sentences on there, but it's not as like booked as my physical and emotional one, because, you know, I like to write my feelings. Okay, on the right side there is the brain dump for the month. So for March, I have 2 sections. I have a serious section and a personal section. The serious section is going to be more about business stuff, YouTube videos, business ideas, ways to make money, anything that's like more, I guess, business like, but serious too, because this could mean relationships, you know, like what if you guys had a fight with your significant other and you're trying to fix it or something. Like, here's where you could write that stuff down. Also with the personal one, you could write it down too. The personal one is more about like me, just like, what am I up to? What am I thinking these days? Anything that like doesn't fit in any other category in this book, I will write down in the brain dump. That's why they call it dump, because you're literally just dumping all your thoughts into one place. So that's I like this section a lot, especially the serious ones. I use that one a lot, especially now that YouTube's kicking a little bit. I like to write down video ideas that I just come up with, so I try to carry this book around everywhere I go. It's like my personal assistant. Okay, so for the next section, this is also one of my favorite sections. We have habit tracking. So for the habit tracking, I like to have 6. You can have more and you can have less. It depends on what you're trying to do for the month, but I like this section a lot because you end up seeing just how you're keeping your habits tracked and if you're actually doing good habits, you know? So the ones that I had last month had fitness, had flossing, had cooking at home. It was just a whole bunch of things that I'm trying to keep track of to make sure that I'm doing them and to keep myself accounted for, because then you, at the end of the month, you realize, oh my God, my calendar is blank. That means that I didn't do it this month. And that's happened to me with meditation. I started, I had it in January, I had a meditation one, and I think I meditated once, and I used to meditate all the time. So I'm trying to get back into that. But right now I just feel like not wanting to meditate. But a lot of people say like when you don't want to meditate, that's when you need to. So I need to start doing that. Okay, so for this month, I want to keep track of my fitness, cooking at home, journaling, posting videos, oil pulling, grounding, and yours could be very different. You know, yours could be maybe meditation, it could be reading, it could be writing, it could be listing products, like say you're a reseller, listing stuff, or, you know, maybe listening to podcasts, something that you think is going to be a good habit for you and to keep you more productive. I think you should keep track of it. These are just the ones that I want to focus on for the month, but they can always change for the next month. So I do this every month. So I'm excited, you know, posting videos. I haven't been posting that much. My editor was sick, and he's doing a lot better now. So thank God you're back, Francis. We missed you. Okay, so that is the habit tracking for March on the left-hand side. This part gets a little repetitive too, especially you can see at the end, like the 30 and the 31 on each calendar. Like they're a little scrambly looking, a little childish looking, but that's because I like realized that the calendar didn't fit correctly. It wouldn't happen with the other months, so I think it's because the first day started on a Sunday. Anyway, whatever. I'm ranting, obviously. I shouldn't be ranting. I meant to say, so once you do, like say I decided to work out today on the 2nd. Today is the 2nd of March. Today I exercise or do something. I would color this, you know, with colored pencils. Last month it was orange, so today could be green. So you just like fill up the square, and then that's how you know like how many times you did it during the month. It's just like a really good summary of like what you accomplished in the things that you wanted to focus on that month. That's what I really like about it. And on the right side we have gratitude. So I like to write down what I'm grateful for every day. So I will have 1 through 31, or last month was 1 through 29 because of it was February, and every day I just wrote down like what I was grateful for the day, waking up or whatever. And so I like that section a lot. It just gets you thinking and being more grateful about the things that you have. I know we tend to see a lot of negativity in media and all that stuff, and I think it's good to just like remember like where you are right now and like what you can do and what you have been doing, and feeling very accomplished about all the things that you have. So that's just me. Okay, the next section is gonna be called Oh Bloody Hell. I don't know, I saw it on Pinterest somewhere because I was looking for a way to track my period. Now this is for ladies only, so you men, you guys skip a little bit further unless you're on your period. I hear guys get their periods too, it's just not a bloody mess. But anyway, so this, I like to keep track of my period just so that I know like the symptoms, because sometimes like I'll get like acne or headache or bloaty or gassy. So I like to keep track of all the symptoms that I have just so that I am aware of what's my trend here, you know, throughout the year. I think it's good for women to keep track of their period. At least for me, I think it's really important. I'm into health and all that, and I know periods are really important, so I like to keep track of that. So what I do is I just like write down, since this is the first month that I'm starting this, I have an app on my phone, but I decided I wanted to see it on paper, so I'm just starting this for the first time. So if you're gonna do this with me, you're probably doing it with me. March, I have colors like of what I'm gonna color, like whether it was a heavy flow, moderate flow, light flow, or like what kind of symptoms I'm getting, like headaches, cramps, fatigue, acne. I need to add an acne section because like I do break out during my period, and I should probably count how many pimples I get during the week. So that is my period tracking. I like to keep that one as a woman. If you're a guy, probably don't need to worry about this. So next section I want to talk about is intermittent fasting. So this is just like works for me. I'm not saying that everyone needs to start intermittent fasting, but just something that I've been trying the past maybe 6 months, and I have been thriving in it. I love it. I normally don't even eat breakfast, and I feel like I used to eat breakfast out of being pushed into it. People are like, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and blah blah blah, and all these like things, but really I feel like everyone is very different. So I never had breakfast, and now I get to feel okay by not having breakfast, because sometimes I'll have breakfast and feel really full, or really like I'll get really tired, or just feel really just heavy, that I end up not getting any work done. So I decide not to have breakfast in the morning and just have lunch and dinner and just till the next day. So I just like to keep track of the times that I'm eating and like seeing how long I'm fasting. There's a lot of other benefits of fasting, which I can talk about in another video if you're interested. But for now, I'm just going to keep it at that, you know, and I'm not recommending you guys to do it. This is just part of my bullet journal, and I'm just sharing that with you guys. But yeah, intermittent fasting today. And oh right, I wanted to explain it. So from the top to the bottom will be the days, so 1 through the 31st, because March has 31 days. And then from the left to right, I started at 5 a.m. because I work at 6 in the morning, so I wake up around 5, so I like to start at 5 and then end it around 1, even though I sleep around 9. You know, 9 is a new 1 a.m., right? At least when you're 30 years old. Last but not least this is where things get really exciting. So this is my week at a glance, not even. It's my week at everything. So I like to section these pages by 3 columns. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday go on the first page, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday go on the second page. And here as you can see, like I write down 1, 2, and 3. So these are going to be my priority for the day. So I like, for example, like it could be filming a YouTube video or brainstorming video ideas, stuff that like are really prioritized. And, you know, Pickup Lime said something really good about this section. She said it's good to like list out the things that are a true priority, because sometimes we'll like hide those things in the little tasks, and it feels good to finish tasks, but when you're not prioritizing them, that's a big problem, you know? So, okay. That noise in the background is not me farting, it is just the construction next door. Don't get too excited. So yeah, at 1 through 3, I put the priorities of the day, and then the little dots at the bottom are just ones that I like need to accomplish, but are not that big of a big deal if I don't finish them. And then at the very bottom of that, I put food, because I like to keep track of what food I'm eating. It's just like out of my curiosity, and just to know that I'm cooking more at home, or like why did I feel weird that day, or why did I sleep weird that day. It's probably because I ate something the day before, so I write down like what I ate or where I ate, or if I'm out with friends socializing, etc., etc. And then at the very bottom, I have a time from 8 through 10. And here is where I talk about, I kind of plan out my whole entire day. So 8 means 8 a.m. So that's like around the time when I wake up. And then 10 is when I go to sleep-ish. yeah, sleep-ish. So anything in between that, like 9 o'clock, I'll journal, or like at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m., I'll just like hang out, chill. Maybe we'll watch a movie. Maybe we plan to watch a movie somewhere. So we will do that. I'll write it down, you know, like, oh, at 10 p.m. the movie starts, at 9 p.m. we're driving to the movie, like literally writing down your day, just so that you like have that in mind when you're going through your day. You're like, okay, this, and this, I have to make sure I get this done in an hour, get this done in 30 minutes, make sure that I'm done by 5 o'clock. You know, you just start to organize your life a little bit. This works for me, but I feel like for some people it might be a little bit too much, and I totally understand that, but this is just, again, my personal preference. And then Saturday and Sunday are in the same column, just because I feel like those days I'm kind of just hanging out with my husband, my friends, you know, because everyone has a day off. You can't be really working, but if something comes up, obviously I will write it down there for sure. This is the most important part. This is what has changed my life. Everything else is just really nice to keep track of habits and all that. But I think the most important thing was this, just to lay out your whole entire week. I think it's good to make sure that you're organizing yourself and making sure that you're also self-caring at the same time, because you want to focus but also think about yourself. And I feel like the bullet journal has changed my life. It really, really has. And I recommend it to everybody. And if you're interested in this book, don't forget, it's in the description. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns about my bullet journal, please let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. I think the bullet journal can benefit everyone, and my husband has his own way of doing it, and it's very, very different from mine. And his is a little, like, his handwriting kind of sucks, but you know, like, it works for him, and that's all that matters. So get a bullet journal, get your stuff organized, make sure that you're getting focused on the things that really do matter and not the things that don't matter, and just be grateful for everything. So thank you so much for watching. This turned out to be a very long video, but thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. I don't know if you guys can hear that, the construction. Okay, I'm out. Peace. Let me do that again. Oh, my light fell asleep. Oh. Okay, it'll get better. Oh god, am I awkward looking? Probably a little bit.